Why'd they make it up?
So they could have the day off.
Oh.
Well, that's
I would
something that
probably be
happened
one of
out the
those.
WTOC, remember that?
Uh-huh.
I was by myself one day. I had transmitters acting up and cameras acting up. I was assistant chief engineer of the TV and the FM and the AM radio stations. It was all my worry. I was by myself. I was about to yank my hair out. This jerk of a radio announcer called down, said one of my tape recorders doesn't work. I knew he had more than he needed for his operation. I said, Dick, I got troubles, I can't make it now. So he calls the chief engineer and the car calls me.
Oh my gosh, well you had all the other stuff going on.
Well, it just happened that I had already talked to the director of engineering for public television. He had offered me a job at Pembroke, be chief engineer. I said, Harvey, I can't make the pay cut. If you can ever offer me any more, give me a call. Just about that time, our phone rang. I picked the phone. I said, John, this is Harvey. I think we can talk. So I met Harvey and I signed the papers to go with the state.
Wow. So was that at the same time all this other was going on?
Yeah.
So you said, I'm out of here.
But he offered me more money than he had before, but it was still a pay cut. But I took it, which was good.
So that's when you started with the state?
Huh?
That's when you started with the state?
Yeah.
So what were you, so you were just working for WTOC, which wasn't with the state?
Huh?
WTOC is where you left to go start your job with the state?
Harvey had met me before in some way. He was impressed with me. And so he wanted me to be the chief engineer of the station in Savannah. And he made an offer. I said, Harvey, I can't take the pay cut. So I was doing pretty good at WTOC. So when he called back, he offered more money.
He sweetened the deal, huh?
And I was ready to go.
I bet.
I liked WTOC. It was a good place to work.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sounds like they didn't have enough staff.
it was all mine, really. I mean,
Wow.
back then AM radio was a big thing. FM radio was just really getting started.
What year was that you started with the state?
In 1965.
Okay.
I enjoyed my job. I had a lot of freedom there. I was in design work. We had an FM station which was just duplicating the AM, which was a waste. And so I kept nagging the management. So let's program the FM separately. Let's put some decent music on the FM. Good music. I nagged them and I nagged them. Finally, I said, well, just give me $500. I got some ideas. I'll design you and build you an automation device. So I will do everything that has to be done. If you just give me $500.
You said that?
Huh?
You said that?
Just to shut me up, they gave me $500 to spend. So I designed and built this monstrosity of an automation device. I'll pick the music out. We had a fantastic music library and a full-time music librarian.
Wow.
I'll pick my classical music out that I wanted. I'll program this thing.
You can get soap at the kitchen sink.
I'll cruise the radio station with a piece of tape and get the announcers to make me a tape. I did everything that was required to do this. And we separated the evening at 7 o'clock and run to 1 o'clock with good music.
For the FM to start at 7?
Huh?
For the FM to start at 7 in the evening?
So we feed the FM.
Okay.
I separate the programming from the AM.
Okay.
Inside of several weeks, they were building $2,000 a week on it.
In advertising?
Huh?
They were billing to get, they got advertising, you mean?
Yeah, I got separate.
Oh my
And
gosh.
shortly after that, they bought a new FM transmitter, increased the power from 3,000 watts to 100,000 watts.
Wow.
And I designed this thing all over again for stereo.
Did they give you a raise?
Huh?
Did they give you a raise?
I became assistant chief engineer at that time with a raise.
Ah. That's amazing.
And so shortly after that was when Harvey called me. Because I met Harvey, he was the first DE for the educational television, so he knew me.
DE?
Director of Engineering.
Okay. So you went from there, assistant chief engineer, to chief engineer
At Pembroke.
at Pembroke.
And I was there for about almost 5 years, and Harvey called me and asked me if I'd move to Atlanta and be the supervisor of all the transmitters. So that's when we moved to Atlanta,
Okay.
which I think was probably a good move.
It was a good move. At the time, I thought it was terrible.
Huh?
At the time, I thought it was terrible. Do you remember that night we moved? I sat in that chair, and I sat in your lap. Do you remember when we moved to Atlanta? And I sat in your lap in that chair that swiveled, and I just remember how I used to grab the back of your hair when I was little, when I was upset or tired, and I would just play with the back of Mom's hair, and I cried, and I was so upset that we'd moved. And then I think it was the next day we saw some kids with their dog. They either came to meet us or they were walking through the yard or something. Anyway, so we met some of the neighbors. So then I thought, okay, this is going to be okay. But I remember crying.